Hello everybody, this is GeneStar134 coming to you with a new movie review, and as you can see, this is The Evil Dead, the 2013 remake. Now, coming in, I was a bit worried, being a big fan of all three original movies, The Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, and Army of Darkness 2, so I can say I have quite a variety in my stock. I'm a huge fan of Bruce Campbell and all the work that he's done. Granted, everyone complains that his acting, or at least the movies that he selected, are not on par, but that's part of his charm, and that was what really drew everybody to his movies initially. Sam Raimi knew what he had after he initially tried to make Evil Dead and did not turn out initially how he wanted. He wanted a real horror flick, and for the time and for the purpose, it just did not work. Granted, he still got something from it, including Bruce Campbell, and they turned it into a trilogy or a remake and a two-parter, which turned into the remake of this. So, initial story is the very beginning. You see at least a build to the backstory to understand flat out what is going on, and that they don't speak of the Doctor in the original movie as they did, but you can kind of insinuate of what's happening. This girl is attacked and dragged back to this place where they're committing a ritual, and what you're thinking is that she's going to be sacrificed, and what actually turns out to be is that they're trying to save her soul, and so they burn her. And granted, it's a bit morose for just the beginning of the movie, but it is a great tension builder. So the only question is where to go from there. And less to say, it does not fail. It does create a lot of building, a lot of tension, a lot of dramatics and theatrics without being over the top like in the first movie. And if anything, it does have its callbacks. Within the second scene, you see the sister, Mia, who is going to be clean of her addiction within the movie, is sitting on Bruce Campbell's car. They never incline to that statement, or at least direct towards it, but they have the car that she's sitting on, and as a fan salute. And you would actually be surprised, as many of the parts in the movie are actually fan salutes. They stick well to the story as if it was the original, meanwhile tweaking it in order to make it more horrifying as Sam Raimi intended, to make it more scary, to make it more of a horror movie like he wanted it to. And if he well, he did sign off on this movie, so I can honestly say creative rights were honored, along with Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell actually had a sign off on the movie. And so, saying all that aside, it is one of those movies that you will be scared. It has the right tension build, it has the right feeling, while still playing honor to the source material. So, in all honesty, it is probably one of the best remakes I've ever seen to this day. Granted, there are some great remakes out there, but this is the one that did it right. It had everything down pat. It was just a fresh new coat of paint set on a new story. And granted, there are some liberations and some changes, but I don't want to ruin the story too much for you. And if you're an Evil Dead fan, it is one of those refreshing things, but at the same time, you will not be ready for it, and it will definitely scare you. So, to those who are a fan of the original but don't like the horror aspect, do not watch it. This movie is not for you. But if you're a fan of horror and you're a huge fan of the original and everything that comes along with it, this is the movie for you. This is the callback, the beautification, even after the credits. And within the credits, there is a callback where it has the original recording of the Doctor's voice from the first movie, and even after the credits, they have Bruce Campbell look off into the distance, say his patented catchphrase of groovy, and look straight at you in the eye. And that was the decision maker to say that this was the movie that I can honestly say has been remade in perfection. And that is what deems it so worthy. The actors do such a great job. Granted, it is a scream flick, it is a horror flick, so not much can be saved acting aside from the cliches as far as character, but they do still offer their own base to the characters and work off the original source material quite well. And Feed Alvarez does a well job directing, as you can see by how the scenes go. And again, without ruining too much, I can gush about this movie all day long. So this is probably going to be my movie for quite a while. So I hope you enjoyed this review as much as I have. If you love horror movies, you loved Evil Dead, go watch it. It's worth watching. It is definitely one of the best remakes I have seen in a long time. So, this is Gene Starwin 34 signing out.